Hello, welcome to our live broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about, or I'm going to share with you, 5 tips to help you create an intermittent fasting lifestyle that will stick. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. My name is Diane, and for the past 25 years or so, I have been helping women find nutrition plans and fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. Here in this community, we are doing that through the practice of intermittent fasting and a keto-like lifestyle that does in fact help us look and feel our best. So 5 tips that I'm going to share with you. These are the tips and the things that I really focused on when I was first starting out my own journey in realizing that my body was changing, and so therefore I had to change as well if I wasn't happy with how I was looking and feeling in the current situation in which I was living. So I noticed that I was continuing to do all the things that I did when I was younger, but my body was changing, and so the results that I was seeing and feeling were not what I was used to having in the past when I was doing those same things. So here are 5 tips and 5 things that I did in the beginning and I still do today on an everyday basis to really help me maintain this lifestyle that I am maintaining for myself and now teaching other women. So the first thing is education. We want to educate ourselves about what it means to have our body go through a transition. So when I was going from my childbearing years hormonally to my perimenopausal years, into my menopausal, and then into my now postmenopausal, I had to educate myself on what that meant for me as a woman and what that meant for the lifestyle that I was living and why it was no longer working for me. And then I had to take it just a step further and take the information that I was seeking out and the information that I was finding, and I had to give it one last tweak to make it apply to me and my individuality. So we have to remember that just because Betty down the street is drinking bulletproof coffee every day with butter and MCT oil and all the things that she puts in it and she looks fantastic, doesn't necessarily mean that those things are going to work for you in the same way. We all come into this journey with our own DNA, with our own food history, with our own intolerances, with our own hormonal makeup, with our own hormonal imbalances, and all of that is just based on the life that we've lived up to the point in which we're starting to incorporate some changes. So we always have to take information and then to take it down to that next level where it becomes very personal to us, and we have to do some experimenting, and we have to be able to be okay with failing at a couple of things or having things fail us and not work for us, and then tweaking it until we do find our go-to rhythm or system with the 2 windows that we're creating as far as fasting and feasting. And what we know today through this lifestyle that we've created, and because of this amazing community of women that we have here that so openly share and have trusted me by taking my course and becoming students of mine, is that we even have our own fasting window that seems to work for us that doesn't necessarily work for other women or other people in general. And again, that's just because of the stage of life that we're in right now, that we're living, that just doesn't apply to people who aren't in our same stage. So you have to make sure that you're educating yourself. That's tip number 1. And then take it a step further and personalize that education to you and your food story, life story, and the circumstances in which you're currently living in. The second tip, or the second thing that we really need to factor in to this lifestyle to make it stick for us and work for us, is flexibility. And I talk about this a lot here, and I teach this a lot in my class. I can't tell you what to eat and how to live your life, because you can't live the same life that I'm living, because of the first tip that I just shared with you. We're also individual. So you have to build in that flexibility as well, and be willing to play with some things and know that some things are going to work beautifully for you, and then some things are not going to work for you, and you have to be okay with that. The other aspect of flexibility that we need to be able to work in is life, and the fact that yes, we want to have as regimented of a schedule as we need to be able to keep our hormones in check and in balance, and we have to have things systematic in a way and habitual for us, so that we do have an opportunity to ask ourselves those 2 questions of how long we're going to fast today and how well we're going to feast. But we also have life. We have social interaction that has to do with food with our family or friends or work environments, or you want to go on vacation, and what you do every single day in such a disciplined and habitual manner may not work in some other situations. And that's where we really have to be healed with ourselves emotionally on building in some flexibility and knowing that because we're not living this lifestyle as a diet, meaning we're rushing to get a result by a certain date and then we're going to switch to something else, and knowing this is something that we're going to do every single day for the rest of our lives with the mentality and philosophy that works for us, you have to be flexible and you have to be willing to ebb and flow your way through life so that you don't make yourself feel crazy or you don't make yourself feel like you're constantly failing because you can't do it perfectly. And I think that's what flexibility really does for us. It gives us the gift and the freedom to not have to be perfect anymore. So the first one was education. The second one is flexibility. The third thing is consistency. When you are in a season of your life or you're in a period where you really need to create some significant healing opportunities, consistency is going to be key. And consistency for some of us who've been doing this now for 3 or 4 years, I know for me, I'm more than 3 years into this lifestyle. Consistency for me is just asking myself those two questions. How long will I fast today and how well will I feast? And then building in the other habits that I know if I live them consistently, what I do in my fast and what I do with my feast are going to be really dependent on some of the other things that I'm doing consistently, like how much water am I drinking? Am I having my full 25 ounces before I go to bed so I wake up in the morning feeling fantastic? Am I getting all the water that I need throughout the day? Am I getting enough of my supplements that I need to make sure that I'm hormonally balanced? Am I having my coffee black, or am I allowing those opportunities to squeeze a little stevia in, thinking that it doesn't matter when really we know that it does? So consistency is that thing where we have to do that personal gut check and go, am I taking advantage of the opportunities that I have today to get what I want out of my day? That may be the flexibility aspect, or it may be that hardcore, I'm fasting long, hard, and clean today, and I'm going to feast so lean and so well because I have a certain thing that I'm trying to achieve. So consistency can be something that you can tweak, but when you start to develop that rhythm of knowing when you need to be really diligent about your fasting and your feasting and knowing when you can lighten up a little bit, that consistency part will just be able to fit in exactly where you need it, when you need it, and it will no longer be an emotional, a mental, or a physical struggle for you. And then the fourth thing is community. You have to have a community of like-minded people, which is why I love you guys and which is why I love what we have here and what we do in these live broadcasts and the two-way conversations that we have at the end of my little discussion time. The Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman community that we have on Facebook, our graduates page where all of my students who graduated from my course can hang out and support each other, and what we have as far as the community we have inside our course as well. It's not always easy to find people in our social circles or even within our close family and friends who understand what we are going through or who are willing to partake in what we're doing. And we want to feel accepted, and we want to feel like we have other people that are doing what we're doing, and we also want to know that we're not alone in our struggle. So finding a community is very important in your success as far as creating a lifestyle that will last you longer than what a typical diet will. So if you're really dedicated to doing this as your life, which I think everyone should because we know it works, you have to cement your feet into a community where you know that you can get support. And remember, when you're in a community is a two-way street if you want to reap the full benefits of it. So that means you have to give as well as take from a community. And sometimes if you're not feeling connected to a community, it could be that you are just spending too much time as an innocent bystander and you're not actually interacting or partaking in conversations or maybe even sharing a little bit about your own personal journey. So community is important. As far as making sure that you have a place where you feel as home and a place where you feel comforted and loved and even more importantly understood. So the fourth was community. And the fifth we talked about on Monday, and that's responsibility. We have a personal responsibility to ourselves to stay committed to what we say we want to have for ourselves and our life. If you're not happy, you have to ask yourself why you're not happy with what's going on with your life. You have to ask yourself why it is you're stuck there, and what are some things that you can do to create change. So hopefully if you go back up the list, 4, 3, 2, and 1, you'll find some answers to maybe some of those questions that you're answering for yourself. Maybe you're lacking a little bit of education, or maybe the education that you have found has not been personalized to you. So you're struggling because you're still waiting for someone else to tell you what you need to do with your body. And if that person is considered a third party person, meaning someone through the internet who's talking to you, or maybe someone who's already pre-printed some meal plan or some meal suggestions without discussing what your personal likes, wants, needs, and desires are, then you are still too far away from the education to make it work for you. Or maybe you need to have a little bit more personal responsibility in your flexibility. Are you living so regimented in what it is that you're doing that you feel like you've lost the joy for life? Or maybe you feel like you're a little bit food phobic, like everything you do is going to be wrong for you? Then you need to take a little bit of personal responsibility and check in with that. And maybe build in a little flex time with a date night with your husband, or a vacation where you kind of loosen the reins a little bit and experiment with some new things and see how you feel on vacation when you aren't so regimented. And then maybe you need to take a little bit of personal responsibility with your consistency. How many consecutive days are you fasting long and clean? Are you getting to that point of feeling the energized sense of calm? Are you cutting yourself and cheating yourself just short of getting to that really deep, clean, balanced feeling? And then maybe you're not being responsible enough in seeking out a community that you can find your support in. So all of those things are things that I really focused on and was very diligent about, almost like checklist items when I was first on my journey with this, because at the time when I was really sick and felt very desperate, and like I shared today in my post on Instagram and Facebook, I felt a little crazy, is because I felt like I was standing on an island all by myself, and there were not a lot of women who looked like me and sounded like me and who were going through the same thing as me, who were sharing their journey. Fortunately, today there is a lot more of us women who are sharing what it is we're going through, including you amazing women here who are always so open to sharing your journey as well. So education, find it, then personalize it. Flexibility, you can build it in either tightening down the reins, or maybe loosening them up a little bit, and then playing with some things until you find a good rhythm. Consistency, making sure that you're fasting and feasting every single day in some aspect of your 24-hour window. Finding a community where you feel loved, supported, and understood, and you feel like you have a home base. And then we also, the fifth one is taking personal responsibility for what we know we need to do as we're going through this aging process, and then doing a gut check and making sure that we're being open and honest with ourselves as well, and we're not cheating ourselves. So I hope that helps you if you're just stumbling upon this community and you don't know where to start, or you don't know what it is you're supposed to do with all of this information that's out there. Really run a checklist for yourself and ask some of those changes. And if you want a community where you feel like you can ground yourself and feel like you're understood and at home and can get support, you are in the right place, because this is exactly what we have formed here. And everyone that's in this environment in this community is very loving and supporting, and is probably on a very similar journey than you are. And as soon as you share what you're going through, trust me, someone will speak up and let you know that you are not alone. So use us. We're here for you any way we can be. So if you're looking to go through a course with us, remember we have one starting on the 6th of July. So we're waiting until after the 4th of July to get this one started. It's a 3-week course where we take you through the process of learning how to intermittent fast for you correctly, how to intermittent feast for you correctly, and then how to develop the social and emotional aspects of living this lifestyle out loud and amongst other people who maybe aren't living the same lifestyle as you, and how you can mentally and emotionally adapt to your lifestyle so you don't cheat yourself and can get the full benefits of it. So it's a fully rounded course and a great experience with like-minded women who I promise you will end up finding probably a new best friend in the course that you're in, and you will then be part of our amazing graduate community as well. So we would love to have you if you haven't taken our course yet. Okay, I'm going to go through really quickly. I think last time I started on Facebook. So today I will start on YouTube. I'll go ahead and read all your comments and answer any questions I can, and then Facebook hold up for a sec, and then I'll be over to welcome all of you and answer any of your questions. And if you have been in our course, I always like that you share that as well, so other women can maybe reach out to you and ask you some questions as well. Let's see, we have here Susie, bread, please talk about bread. What's my best option for once in a while? Okay, so we've tried a couple of breads. It's really hard to find a quote unquote low carb bread, because bread is bread. So if you're going to have a little bread in your life, I always recommend trying to find something that's gluten-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. So those are always the big three things for us. And we also like to go even one step further these days and go a paleo route as well, so you know that there's not any corn fillers or anything like that in it. We have actually really loved all of our experiences with the, is it Canyon House? Canyon House bread. You can find it at most like Whole Food stores. I think some grocery stores sell limited versions of things. So we've had their bagels, we've had their sandwich bread. You guys saw, or if you haven't seen, you can go through my Instagram. I posted a grilled cheese sandwich we made with Canyon House bread. It was absolutely amazing. And then I think our kids also have had a couple other versions of the Canyon House bread as well. There have been some other versions of bread. I'm not going to say the name brand company because I really like some other things they have, so I don't want to dog them at all. But we didn't like theirs. So I would say Canyon House is probably our favorite. And then if you like tortillas and stuff like that, then you know we're a big fan of the Siete Foods brand tortillas. Those are also grain-free, and those are good to use if you're like making taco night or something like that. So that's a good one. So Canyon House bread is the best. And here's the thing, again, everyone has their own tastes and their own texture likings and stuff like that. So sometimes you have to just invest in the experiment and trying a new bread. So the things you want to look for is gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and paleo options if you can. And then you just invest in a loaf of bread, or you invest in a package of something and you try it. And if it works for you, fantastic, you just found your go-to bread. If it doesn't work for you, then I always say you already made the investment. Just give it away or ditch it or do whatever you have to, feed it to the birds, whatever you got to do. And just know that that's going to not be your go-to thing. So don't be afraid to experiment, but just look for key things that you don't want to include in your nutritional lifestyle, and just make sure that they're free of that. And then just know when you have bread, it's bread. You cannot go low carb on bread and have it still be bread. We've tried that and it just doesn't work. Let's see, Lori from June 2019 course, loving it. Thanks for all of your info and sharing with us. Tried Pellegrino water for the first time yesterday and love it. Yes, I agree. And there's some newer Pellegrinos as well, which have some flavor in them. So those would be feasting waters, not fasting waters. But it's sometimes fun to vary up your mineralized water with a little flavor. Just make sure you do it in your feasting window. Kathy, new here, congratulations. Thanks for finding us, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when we go live. Always love our new community members. Karen from Michigan, can't wait to get started in July. Love listening to you. Awesome, Karen. I can't wait for you to get started with us in July too. July is a great month to get started because we're kind of already winding down with summer and we're getting ready to head into the fall and the winter months. And it's really good to have some maturity and time under your belt with this lifestyle before we head into the holidays. So July is a great time to jump in with us. You get a head start on what happens in the fall and the winter months for sure. Kathy, what supplements? Did I say, I probably said supplements something, right? Be more specific with that for sure, Kathy, and I'll answer that one. Booba something or other. Oh, Lisa, I just downloaded all your favorite books in my Audible as samples until I purchase and read them. Great choices. Oh, you're welcome, girlfriend, for sure. And I have I should probably update that list. I have a whole new list of new books too. Teresa, love having this information in community. February 2019 grad. Teresa, we love having you as well. Linda, June course. Could I get a list of your favorite books? Diane, love to learn and grow. We have a lesson in our course with some really great books. And then I think, in our F3 course, I think I have some books as well. I think they're more fitness related. And then, like I said, I'll just do a review of some books I've read this year, or I have on my list, and I'll update that for sure.
Hey, can you tell Janice Martinez, I accidentally deleted her message. I was trying to delete someone else's message.
Oh, Janice Martinez, my husband deleted your message on accident, so just go ahead and repost your message for sure. And then Marilyn, May graduate, life-changing, love the program. Awesome. Thanks for saying that, Marilyn. Barbara, it was in your April class. Can fasting of any form help endometrial hyperplasia? I don't know what that is. I'm sorry that I don't know what that is. But just know this, that fasting at any level, as long as it's clean, will heal just about everything. So the deeper you want to heal, the longer and cleaner you need to fast. And that's really the only rule. Or the deeper you need to get yourself into keto kind of glycemic index for healing. And that's when your glucose is low and your ketones are high, and you have a nice little ratio of the two, and that's when you get into the deepest therapeutic kind of healing. So I say if you have something specific that you're trying to heal, these 5 tips I gave today would be very, very crucial for you. Making sure you're educating yourself about the subject in which you're trying to heal. Make sure you're educating yourself about what deep healing and fasting is, and then creating the flexibility that you need to get you where you need to go with however long it's going to take you to heal your body. Consistency is going to be key in any aspect of healing, because as soon as you throw yourself out of healing, then you have to get yourself back into healing. And then find a community for support, and that's us. And if you want to email me, we can do maybe a little deeper conversation about specifically what you're trying to heal. And then just be personally responsible to yourself, knowing that as a grown-up adult woman with access to information, that you have at your disposal everything that you need to get your body healed. You just have to make sure that you're not cheating yourself out of what you know is good for you and what's not so good for you. So I hope that helps for sure. Let's see, Gray, hello. Gail, any suggestions for those of us who are on meds and need food at dinner time? My fast can't go over 23 hours. Okay, so here's what I say about medication. You have to take medication as your medication is prescribed. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you have to take medication, but you also want to go into extended type of fasting for the deeper therapeutic healing, then just make sure that what you choose to eat with your medicine is going to enhance what you're trying to do. So when you're in those deeper, longer therapeutic type of fasting opportunities, you want to keep your body in a level of ketone burning, right? Or ketones being present in your body. So if you were to have your medicine with a piece of bread, not the smartest option. If you were to have your medicine with a half of an avocado, much better option. So just make sure that the food that you're choosing to consume to take your medication is going to enhance what it is that you're trying to do and not detour you from it. So all you need is just to have a base of coating on your stomach, probably just to absorb the medication or keep your stomach protected. I would probably assume that's what it is. Maybe even ask your doctor what they suggest or what the minimal amount of food that you need to have in your stomach to take your medicine effectively. That would be a great question to ask. It might even be something like a bone broth or something. So ask the questions, do a little research, and then make the most informed choice you can to enhance what it is that you're trying to do. Tina, I'm always at work with my 18-hour fast when my 18-hour fast is finished. Awesome, I hope that that's a plus for you. Tina, want to exercise. Can I exercise even after I eat? Yeah, for sure you can. It just feels different. Fasted cardio is usually the easiest exercise because you are, in more of an aerobic type of state. Usually strength training feels better when you are in a feasted state. At least that's what, the mainstream feeling is across the board. I know I feel better in a fasted cardio, but I do feel better if I'm going to do more of a specific strength training that's longer in duration, a little bit more intense in a feasted state. So play with it a little bit. But exercising after you eat is not like a problem or a failure or anything like that. It's just is not as beneficial as if you could do it fasted, especially if it's cardio. Let's see. Gray, I start to follow you. I never do intermittent fasting. I want to try, but a little, I consider it affects me in my health. Oh, it's all beneficial to you for sure. Let's see, Francie, January 2018 grad. I'm on 1 meal a day, girl, for life. Thanks so much for all you share. Awesome, girlfriend. I'm glad that that's working for you. And then Bonnie, I grow my own herbs. Can I use things like mint and basil and lavender and tea and stay fasting? It all depends. I really, in this community, since we're doing mainstream conversations, really like to say if you're fasting for hormonal balance and healing purposes and for everything that we're going through as aging women, you want to make your fast clean, meaning you don't want anything that's going to be flavor enhancing at all during your designated fasting windows. The more balanced you get, the more you can control your blood sugars, the farther away you are from insulin resistance. You can play a little bit with what you're doing in your fasting window, but you have to be confident that you're at that state and that you're mature enough with your fasting and your feasting that those things aren't going to affect you. So I would say it's probably going to be a personal choice for you, but if you're trying to balance things out, I would avoid them and save them for your feast. Gail, you're welcome. Bernadette, does taking a probiotic and putting pink salt crystals into my 16-ounce water take me out of a fasted state? And is distilled water good to use during fasting? Actually, mineralized water is the best to use during fasting. Probiotics, I don't recommend the way I teach it, taking probiotics during your fast. I say fasting is your probiotic. It's going to help you balance out what you have going on in your gut biome. So I say give that a try first and then see how your gut biome balances out, and then if you need to add something after that. And then salt is very beneficial during your fasting window, so having that in your water is not a problem. It's even better if you can just kind of put it underneath your tongue. And then Grace, I'm still doing great. I'm your May group, and to date I've lost 16 pounds and feeling awesome. Thank you for everything you do. Oh, Grace, you're welcome. Thanks for sharing with us how successful you have been. And 16 pounds is amazing, especially if you can keep it off. And then Kathy, my husband passed a month ago and now must take care of me. New to intermittent fasting, not sure what I can drink. I have blocked carotid 60-70, doing high fat concern me. What to do one meal a day. Kathy, I would say jump into our class, girlfriend. If you're at a point in your life, and I'm so sorry to hear that you lost your husband, but if you're at a point in your life when you're really serious about investing in you and taking care of your health, I would say invest in jumping in with us on July. You'll have an amazing community of supportive women there to help you through this difficult time, and you'll learn a lot about how to take care of yourself. So I think you're in a really great place to do that, and we start July 6th, so I would say jump in for sure. Bonnie, you're super welcome. And then Margaret's signing up for July. Girlfriend, I can't wait to hang out with you in July for sure.
Tell Janice Martinez that she got blocked, and I'm so sorry.
Oh, we could go in and unblock her. So Michael blocked you on accident. He was trying to get creepers off our YouTube comments feed. So we'll go back in after this and we'll unblock you so you can comment again. So we apologize for that. Amy, good afternoon. Watching from Oregon. I was originally in the April 2017 class. I loved living my IF lifestyle. Yeah, Amy, you got it down for sure. You're following the 5 tips beautifully. Patty, hello. She was in our February 2019 class. Kimberly, I've been doing 16-8 for 3 days and I'm struggling in the morning. Of course you are, because you are still in the beginning stages of incorporating fasting, and 16 hours is going to keep you in that struggle state. So you have to get yourself past that and get yourself out of that sugar burning phase, and that's what we teach in the first week of class. So Kimberly, I would love to have you in class with us in July, and I'll teach you how to get through that horrible struggly feeling. Jeanette, I'm in Oregon, Forest Grove, awesome. Amy, flexibility and challenging myself have been my greatest assets while incorporating IF practices. Yeah, it really is a mind game, right? So when we start incorporating anything that's new, it's always mind over everything else. So if you can get your mind to understand the benefits of intermittent fasting and just allow your mind to take over and make sure you have that mindset of healing no matter what, then this lifestyle is super easy. You just build in the other things that happen in life and you just keep the right mindset. So if you can get your mind into this in a buy-in type of situation in the beginning, and then everything else starts to follow suit and you start to see the results, this is easy peasy. Oftentimes it's our mindset that's keeping us when we think, oh, there's no way I can do that, there's no way I can do that, there's no way I can do that, or we let outside forces who don't really have anything to do with us personally influence how we're thinking. That's where we really start to struggle as well. So you got to get that mindset straight for sure. Anna, graduates page, where? January 2018. Just search graduates for today's aging woman, I think, or something like that on Facebook. And we send it out in an email, so make sure you're on our email list. We sent out an email to all of our graduates, making sure that they were on that Facebook page for sure. Yvonne, hi Diane, June 2017 course, plus 2 or 3 other courses with you. Benefits of IF still going strong. Good to hear from you, Yvonne. I haven't heard from you for a while. Hopefully everything's going good with you. Kim was in the May course, did a 6-mile hike this morning, fasted, of course, still hiking. Oh yeah, of course you did, Yvonne. I would imagine no less from you. Yvonne's, you live in Northern California, I believe, and she's done really well, had really great results with our course as well, and she is a diehard hiker up north. So good for you, girlfriend. And then Anna, how do you keep your teeth so white while drinking black coffee? It's my toothbrush. I'm telling you guys, get yourself a really good electric toothbrush. If you go to what is my store called? Dysfavoritethings.com. So DYS favoritethings.com. My favorite toothbrush is in there. I don't even use toothpaste. I just use my electric toothbrush. I just had a dental appointment, I think last week. The dental hygienist didn't even have to use that sonic like water pick to get any kind of plaque off my teeth, because I don't have plaque on my teeth anymore. And all of my gum, you know how they test your gums for like the numbers, the 5, 4, 3s and all that? I only have 3s and 2s, and I used to have 5s and 4s. So toothpaste is not the be all get all. If you just have a really good toothbrush, you watch how much food you put into your life that is sugar and carb heavy, and if you eliminate all those snacky type of things, and you fast long, then your dental hygiene improves as well. And you have to upgrade your toothbrush, because just a traditional manual toothbrush doesn't do the trick. You have to have a really good electric toothbrush that focuses on my toothbrush head is actually a flosser as well, so it keeps everything nice and clean between my teeth as well. So go to dysfavoritethings.com and you'll be able to find the toothbrush that I use there. I absolutely love it. It was the best investment I made in me, and I'm saving a ton on any kind of dental work I have, because I'm aging and my mouth health is getting better and better the more I age. And who can say that except for the people here who are living this lifestyle and have a good toothbrush? Angela, I'm in the course now and love it. Thank you. Did my first 19-hour fast today. Only felt hungry about hour 12. Great. And hour 12 is about the time you should feel hungry, because that's when our insulin is at its lowest. So you just have some water, you power through it, and the next thing you know, you're at 19 hours. So congratulations to you, girlfriend. Diane is here from Pennsylvania. Dawn, I'm in the June class and feeling better than I have in years. Girlfriend, and you're only in week 2. So for those of you thinking about joining our July course, our June members are in week 2 and are feeling better than they have felt in years. So imagine what you can do in just 2 weeks and how you can feel better than you have felt in years. I'm telling you, it is the best investment you can make in you and the best time commitment you can give to yourself and your future. Yeah, Yvonne, NorCal. I remember that. And then Diane from Pennsylvania. Awesome. Yvonne, it's so good to hear from you. I haven't seen you in forever. And Janet was just on with us live on Monday, and she's doing fantastic too. And I know you guys were in the same time frame of courses for sure. Maxine, Monday to Thursday, I do 1 meal a day, and Friday I eat a little bit naughty after 2 p.m. Hey, that's what we call flexibility, and that's one of the tips we talked about today. So good for you for building in a little bit of that. Margaret, if anyone is in the Southwest Washington, Portland area, it's pretty good gluten-free bread. Yeah, someone else just gave me a link to a good bread company too. I forget what it's called. You order it online. So you know it's that thing that we went through a lot of breads. And if you're jumping on right now, we were talking about bread a little while ago. We went through a lot of breads where we were just like, not our thing, and we just kind of tossed them away until we found Canyon House, and we absolutely love it. They have like hamburger buns, hot dog buns, bagels, sandwich bread, different types of sandwich bread. Even our daughter likes it, which is amazing because she's our carb person. So for her to like a gluten-free bread is pretty amazing and says a lot. So you just have to play around with it till you find something to your liking for sure. But gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and paleo are the 4 things we look for. And then Allison, thank you for turning me on to those mini peppers. They are so awesome. I roast them and eat them constantly. Yeah, those little mini peppers are super good. And you can stuff them too. They're also good for scooping up guacamole and hummus and those kind of things. So they're great replacements for chips even. Maxine, good evening, girlfriend. And then Bonnie, thank you so much. You're super welcome. Okay, so I think I got everybody. So really quickly, if you jumped on late, the 5 things that we talked about today were education. Not only do you have to educate yourself about this lifestyle you're trying to create, but you also have to build in a little layer of personal education. How does this stuff apply to me? The second thing is flexibility. So maybe you're really strict Monday through Friday, maybe Saturday and Sunday, you loosen the reins a little bit. Flexibility is key to being happy and creating authenticity. Consistency is key, especially if we're trying to heal ourselves. And then you have to find a community of people who are going to love, support you, understand you, and also share some of the struggles that they're going through, so you know that you're not alone. If you're looking for a community, we are that, exactly what you're looking for here. And then you have to have some personal responsibility. How serious are you going to take this? How much of what you say you want for yourself can actually be translated in you taking the action steps to make it happen? No one else can do it for you. It has to be your own personal responsibility. If you want information about that and how you go about doing that, that's what we talked about on Monday. So thanks so much for joining me today. I always love having my little conversations with you guys through the comments. So thank you to everyone who commented today. I always appreciate you, and thanks for your questions. I'm sure if you have a question, someone else had the same type of question. So thanks for being bold enough to ask it publicly and allowing me the opportunity to answer it for you. Again, we have our course starting on July 6th. Within 2 weeks, you can feel better than you have felt in years. Just keep saying that to yourself. It's an amazing thing to think about, and it's a wonderful concept to actually be able to live, and it's happening every single month in our courses for sure. So don't cheat yourself. Give yourself the opportunity to feel absolutely amazing. Registration link is in both places on YouTube and Facebook, and we also send out emails, so please make sure you're on our email list as well. We also have a weekly email that goes out every Friday where we give out little tips about feasting, fasting, fitness, and what we have going on in our community. So either way, we love to support you there as well. We will see you guys on Friday, where Michael will be joining me. So grab your spouses or significant others. And we will be talking about, I think we're going to be talking about fasting long, feasting well, and training smart, and what that means to us as an aging community. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us on Friday as well. Have a good rest of your afternoon. Again, thank you for your time, and we'll see you on Friday.